Hi everybody. Let's take a quick look at an exclusive series featuring this beauty here, McLaren Senna. Alright, so to get an overview here, the car itself is worth some 850 gold if you don't own it. And that means it will cost you 680 gold with the showcase discount. And let's say you take advantage of the limited series that's currently going on, then you can win it with a decent number of upgrades. But of course, that's going to cost you some 930 gold. But if you want to have an access to the exclusive series, you have to fully upgrade it. So however you obtain this car, you will have to spend some 1,255 gold in upgrades and 3,673,600 racing dollars to max out to unlock this exclusive series. Right. And the car is featured in 2 other bonus series as well. So I'll have the link to those playlists in the description box below. So if you haven't done so, or if you're interested, feel free to check them out. But so that is the upfront cost to have an access to this exclusive series. And yeah, and I'll just kind of give you guys an overview of what you can expect in this series, so you can assess whether you think it's worthwhile spending all that resources, in-game resources, to unlock this. So what do we have? McLaren Senna, an incredible machine that delivers every ounce of track performance that its name implies. All right, it is a 20-tier limited exclusive series. We got 3 time trial tiers, as you can see. Tiers 5, 10, and 15, right? So that means we have total of 54 events that you have to complete. That means 51 trophy events and 3 time trials. So, rewards, right? There's total of 150 gold to be won and some 500,000 racing dollars for 100% completion. And this is the breakdown that you see here. So first 25% completion earns you 15 gold and 50,000 racing dollars, which would involve completing 14 events. So if you're working your way from, like, let's say tier 1 onward towards the right, I mean, you don't have to, but if you do, then that would get you to what? Basically, you can do 13 gold trophies and 1 time trial, right? But really, 14 completion means you can do 11 gold trophies and complete all 3 time trials, or you can do really any other combinations that you can think of, right? So as long as you get 14 events done, that is worth 25% completion. And 50% completion is gonna be paying out 30 gold and 100,000 racing dollars, and that involves completing 27 events. So once again, you can do 25 gold trophies and 2 time trials. That's one of the combinations that you can do, or 24 and gold trophies and 3 time trials, or just straight up 27 gold trophies and no time trials. It all works. So that's 50%. And then the 75% completion, which pays out 45 gold and 150,000 racing dollars, will involve completion of 41 events. So 38 gold trophies and 3 time trials, or really, any other combinations that you can get to 41. And of course, 100% completion pays the remaining rewards of 60 gold and 200,000 racing dollars. And well, 100% is pretty straightforward. You have to complete everything, right? Now, every tier, so there are 3 time trial tiers. So, those are, as I said, tiers 5, which takes place at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. Tier 10, which takes place at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. And then the third one takes place at Daytona Motorcycle Course. So aside from those 3 time trial tiers, every other tier, basically all the other tiers, all 17 of them, remaining tiers, have a cup, right? And then you got usual variety events. So to give you a breakdown, I'll have this breakdown in the description box below as well, so you can kind of get a sense of what this series looks like. So for starter, we got 6 autocrosses in this series, starting with the very first tier, and this one starts at Hockenheim Grand Prix. And then next autocross, you see it in tier 6, this one takes place at Dubai Oval. And then the next one you come across is going to be at tier 9, Daytona Road Course. And then 13 is the next tier. This one takes place at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. And then we got 2 more, tier 18, Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. And then finally we have tier 20 autocross at Melbourne. So those are the 6 autocrosses in this series. And we have 3 drag races, which is fine. 3 is reasonable in a 20 tier series, I guess. So the first one that you come across is going to be in tier 2. This one takes place at Catalunya Grand Prix. Next one is going to be in tier 12. This one takes place at Monza Road Course. And the last one is going to be in tier 17 at Suzuka East. All right, so pretty short events so far, right? And then let's see. So that takes up 9 gold trophies. And if you do time trials, because you don't have to set some incredible time to get credit for completion, as long as you don't go off track and set a valid time, then it counts towards your completion percentages, right? So you don't necessarily have to run the car when it's in fully serviced condition. You can just for completion, I would recommend just running it in critical condition. Once the car drops down to critical condition, just do a time trial or do all 3. Then those are easy completion that you can always come back later on if you feel like you can do better and improve your time, or maybe practice your racing skills, right? So anyway, those are 3 drag races, and let's check out eliminations. By the way, I'm going by the alphabetic order of event types. So eliminations, we got 4 of them, starting in tier 2. This one takes place at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix. And the tier 7, this one takes place at Spa. And the third one is going to be in tier 11, taking place at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. And then the last elimination is going to be in tier 19, taking place at Brands Hatch. All right. And then we got 5 endurance runs. All right, so the first endurance you're going to come across is going to be in tier 1 at Mount Panorama. And tier 6 has the next one at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. And the third endurance is going to be in tier 9 at Silverstone International. And the next one is going to be in tier 13 at Melbourne. And then the last endurance you're going to come across is going to be in tier 17, taking place at Catalunya Club Circuit. All right, on to head-to-head. Right, 4 head-to-heads in this series. First one in Tier 4, taking place at Monza Junior course, and these are going to be all single lapper, by the way, head-to-heads. And then Tier 8 is the next time you see head-to-head. This one as Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit. And then the next one, Tier 14, taking place at Berlin Formula E circuit. And then the last head-to-head you'll find in Tier 19, taking place at Red Bull Ring National Circuit. All right, and then 4 hunters. First one you see at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. And then next one is going to be in Tier 8, taking place at Dubai Hill Circuit. And then the third hunter you find in Tier 14, taking place at Laguna Seca. And then the last hunter in this series you'll find in Tier 18, taking place at Le Mans 24-hour circuit. All right, and then speed record. We got 4 speed records in this series. First one in Tier 3, taking place at Daytona Road Course. And then the Tier 7 is the next time you see speed record. This one taking place at Long On-Road Circuit of Porsche Test Track. Next instance is going to be in Tier 12. This one at Hockenheim Short. And the last of the 4 speed records takes place in Tier 16 at the Porsche Test Track Short On-Road Circuit. All right, and the last type of events, right? Speed snaps. We got 4 of them. First one, Tier 3, taking place at Le Mans 24-hour circuit. And then Tier 11 is going to be the next speed snap you're going to see. This one as Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. And Tier 16 is where you see the third iteration of speed snap. This one at Monza Junior course. And then the last one is going to be in the Tier 20, taking place at Laguna Seca. All right, so those are all the sort of what I refer to as the variety events. And yeah, so now you can kind of figure out which ones you can get done. Like if you do basically all the short races, like autocrosses, speed snaps are always and drag races, right? Those 3 types of events are always the shortest ones. And those alone, remember you got 6 autocrosses, 3 drag races, and 4 speed snaps. So that's 13 events right there. So if you get those done right away, then you got 13 gold trophies, and you add 1 more time trial, then you're done with the 25%. And if you are racing against flag bots, the chances are you probably finish it pretty quickly. Your car's still not even in critical condition, you know. And then you can tackle head-to-head is usually easier events that require you to complete a full lap, because sometimes if you're put up against, let's say, some TSM for hunter, the target distance can be like something where you have to like pull some, you know, tricky moves where you have to push the Sylvia backwards on the circuit. Those things are just annoying, but sometimes that's what you're faced with if, you know, so that's not as exciting. So that's why I wouldn't say hunters are necessarily the quick ones by default. And speed record, kind of a similar idea. Sometimes some racers would use off-track space or turn around at the beginning to just set the highest possible speed, which I suppose doesn't necessarily, you know, go against the spirit of the game. But I feel like, you know, a speed record, you should try to set the speed record going just straight forward. Just my opinion, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so those would be the next set of events that and you know, and endurance, you have to run 2 minutes 20 seconds, so you expect to use up certain number of service bars no matter where you race, right? And then endurance is kind of a, like, that has probably the widest range, right? So if you're like bot trained and only faced with the flag bots, then your distance may be only like 1.7 kilometers that you have to do to win. But sometimes you might end up with, depending on the circuit, you might end up having to race like hundreds of kilometers, depending on who your friends are. You know what I mean? So that quite a bit of variety there. So yeah, not always something that you can easily get done quickly. Anyway, with that being said, now let's run through the actual cup races, see what we got. So tier 1 is going to be at Berlin, Formula E, 4 laps. So, well, these are not motorsport cars, so racing dollar payout I'm not too concerned about. And then tier 2, we got cup at Laguna Seca, another 4-lap cup. Not a terribly long circuits though. Tier 3, we got Melbourne, 5 laps. Once again, maybe Laguna Seca and Melbourne similar in length, I want to say. And then tier 4, we got Suzuka Grand Prix. Now this is a proper Grand Prix circuit, 3 laps, so that's a decent length. And then tier 6, we got a cup at Brands Hatch, 8 laps, and well, Brands Hatch is pretty short. And tier 7, we got Nurburgring Sprint Circuit, 4 laps, so that's, I would say, relatively short one. And tier 8, we got cup at Bugatti Circuit, 4 laps, and that one I would say is probably a little bit longer than Laguna Seca, but certainly not like, you know, full-on Grand Prix circuit length. And tier 9, we got Suzuka West, 6 laps, and that's once again not a terribly long circuit, just higher lap counts, right? And tier 11, we got cup at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit, 8 laps, and that one is, if you calculate like average speed per circuit, that might be one of the slowest circuit, I think, because it's very curvy, narrow, and technical, right? It's like compilation of all the features from tracks around the world, and dynamic circuit happens to have all the, you know, hard corners. So yeah. Anyway, tier 12, we got a cup at Catalunya National, and this one's going to be an 8-lapper. And tier 13, we got cup at Spa, 4 laps. Now that is what some might refer to as a proper length race. Tier 14, we got cup at Hockenheim National, 7 laps. Not a terribly long circuit. Tier 16, we got cup at Dubai National. So I am seeing a lot of national circuit length cups with a relatively higher lap counts. So interesting. And then tier 17, we got a Nurburgring Grand Prix, 6 laps. So okay, not bad. Tier 18, we got cup at Silverstone Grand Prix. Of course, you got, I mean, it's McLaren. Of course, you got a race at Silverstone Grand Prix, right? It's going to be a 6-lap cup, so that is going to be fun. Tier 19, we got cup at Mount Panorama. Also 6 laps. And then finally, the last tier, the cup is going to be at Monza Road Course. 7-lap cup. There we go. So that is a quick overview of this exclusive series. And I'll, you know, be posting my playthrough of the series itself as well. So stay tuned for the actual races if you're interested. But for now, that'll do it for this video. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care.